Easier to mark Lionel Messi, how ex-Liverpool and Real Madrid defender Alvaro Arbeloa shut down Barcelona legend. The ex-Spain international did not always get the better of Messi during their on-field battles, but one memorable Champions League outing from 2007 saw him emerge victorious. Said contest saw Arbeloa handed a baptism of fire by Liverpool following his January transfer to Anfield, with Rafa Benitez asking the hard-working defender to line up against Messi in a last 16 encounter at Camp Nou. Arbeloa has told the coach's voice why the Argentine icon, who was only 19 at the time, was less of a handful back then. We played that day with me at left back, two strikers up front, although Dirk Kuyt played a bit further back. John Arne, Reese, usually played at fullback, but that day played ahead of me. That day, I had to mark Messi. I remember it perfectly. Rafa Benitez came to training one day in Liverpool, and he told me that I was going to play left back to mark Messi. Rafa saw clearly that he was a player who tended to go inside, and he thought that I could do well in that position, which was new for me. It was also my debut in the Champions League, and before it, we went to Portugal for a mini training camp where we prepared for the game. The main difference from the Messi I marked that day to a few years later was that then Messi would almost always receive very, very wide, which made it easier for me to mark. Not quite man-to-man, but by dropping a lot in my zone and almost letting him receive on the wing. That made it easier for me to be very close to him, and I also had Reis's defensive help throughout. I think I remember that it was Giuliano Belletti, the Barca right-back, who didn't overlap a lot in that tie. He was quite an attacking player, but he didn't overlap much, so I always had Reis's help.